song and dance going on.
When I went to a stuttering therapy thing, they said usually it's brought on by something traumatic that happens. So.
And was it just like an overnight thing? Was it just like a...
Yeah, because I didn't stutter in kindergarten. Mm-hmm. And I didn't stutter in first grade. It happened around 6 or 7, when in second grade. So I can only guess it was... because what happened was, I remember it like it was yesterday, is that my sister Susan showed up late, past her curfew, and I heard my dad downstairs beating the crap out of her. So I go out on the landing, was my room, and I put my back against the door and looked down on the landing of him beating her up, and I went, oh, no, not again, which only implies that it happened before. And then my mom runs down in her panties. She's, topless, jumps on my father's back, and pulls him off of her. That night, my mom sleeps in bed with me with a knife. And I think that right around then is when the stuttering thing had started. And then you feared your dad, because then there was a couple occasions once I was bothering him to help me with my Spanish homework, and he got mad at me because he was working and just slapped the crap out of me. And not time I used a piece of wood in the garage that I didn't ask him to use to build a go-kart with my friend, and he beat the crap out of me.
And was it just like hand and belt stuff, or was it?
Yeah, it was just hand, but open hand. It wasn't. It
was excessive by all means. Yeah.
No, but it wasn't one slap. If it was one slap, yeah, but it would be slap, 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 and just go on for what seemed like 5 minutes. It probably was 30 seconds, but it just And again, this is a wah moment. I could always hear Artie in my head, wah, wah, wah. But
But I think it's not wah, because what you've done is you've become a huge advocate for that stuttering community of people that deal with that every day, of all ages. It's one thing if you're a kid. It's another thing if you're trying to get into stand-up comedy, or you're trying to become an accountant, or just work in society and you have that affliction.
Yeah.
What do you say when you go speak at those? And I know you've done engagements of speaking to. What do you say to kids that are stuttering, or communities and people that are having trouble with that?
Drink heavily.
you get a looser tongue, right?
Actually, I'm not. I'm kidding, but I'm not really, because. You
hear that, kids?
No, because I was the keynote speaker at the National Stuttering Association convention in Chicago, and there's like 1,000 people there, whatever, and I did all my tips, and some, it's so weird, because there was putting a vowel in front of a word, there was putting a silent word, in, like I can't say Venice Beach. So like when I was on the Tonight Show, when I was doing beach games, I had to say that. So I'd say, hey, Jay, I'm here at the Venice Beach. I would put a the in front of it. So that helps. Yeah, I have all these tricks, or you could sing things. You'll never stutter if you sing. So you can go, hi, how you doing? Just even get in your head that you're singing, and that'll help. So I had all these tricks.
And certain letters, too, will stumble you up.
Yeah, so you would be a walking thesaurus. Like, if you knew that you had, like, beautiful and you can't say B's, you just say pretty. It happened to me once. I'm on the Tonight Show doing beach games, and Jared Washburn, the Angel pitcher at the time, was throwing suntan lotion-filled water balloons at my back, and then I'm going to say to Jay, don't worry, Jay, he's no Mariano Rivera. Why I chose M and R's, God knows, because I stutter on M's.
You just nailed it right there.
Yeah, but you see how I had to
yeah,
but so there I am, I'm live on the show. I go, don't worry, Jay, he's no Randy Johnson.
Yeah.
You have to quickly pull something out of your ass, and it's weird now, because then when I saw the King speech, which obviously was years ago, that was the same stuff that this guy told the King to do.
Yeah,
all these same tricks.
There's I think it's Malcolm Gladwell, that author who wrote like Tipping Point. He's talked about how there's even like CEOs that are completely dyslexic, and like they talk about all these different tricks that they learn, different forms of memorization. Basically, just trying to. It's like someone with a short leg. Just you figure it out how to live life in a different way.
And as far as the drinking. And I swear to you, and then I said it in the speech, at the end of the day, a couple beers, don't hurt. Not for the kids.
Yeah.
But the truth is, like, for me, when when I do stand-up, I usually have, 2 or 3 beers before I go up. Mm-hmm. Light beers, of course. But here's my favorite story, and this goes back to the Stern Show, is because it connects to the day I left, or the day I gave notice, was... when I was at the Stern Show, I got a call from a teacher and she said this boy, his name was Conroy Arnold, and he was like a 16-year-old African-American kid, comes in. She goes, "Oh, could you speak to him? Because he really stutters bad." I go, "Sure." He comes into my office, and I swear to God, he can't get out a word. It was so sad. He was like, and I had tears in my eyes. And I go, "Well, I'm trying to help him." And then I finally said, "Well, what are you doing tonight?" He says, "I'm going on a date. I'm taking a girl to a movie," and he's terrified. I said, "Do me a favor." I said, take a notebook and a pen, bring it with you, and if you want to speak and you just don't think it's coming out, write it down and show it to her.
Oh, she'll think that's adorable.
Hold on. And I said, not only will you be able to communicate, but it'll take the pressure off of speaking that you have this crutch, and maybe you'll be able to speak a little better. Never heard from the kid again. The day that I gave Howard, the notice, that I was leaving, we went to Atlantic City, like I told you. So we go to the Borgata Hotel. After dinner, the waitress comes up and says, "John, our head chef, wants to say hi to you." What's his name? Conroy Arnold. This guy comes out, great-looking guy, does not stutter at all.
Wow.
Does not stutter at all. I go, no, I'm stuttering. I go, "What happened?" He goes, "John, I never put the notebook down. I still carry a notebook and pen down." He goes, "I don't even need it anymore, but I just carry it for ideas and stuff, but I always carry a notebook and pen."
That's great.
And I go, and it was a great moment. And then I said, "Well, did you get laid that night?" He goes, "Yeah." I go, "I got to carry around a notebook and pen." But it's true. It was like the greatest thing. And so like now he's actually a friend of mine on Facebook. And,
oh, nice.
And I actually told that story on Facebook. And then he responded. He goes, "It's all true, and thank you so much." So,
that's great.
Yeah. And ever since then, like I call, like anytime, like on if anyone wants to email me or tweet me, and I'm not trying to plug, but I guess I got at Stuttering John M on Twitter or on Facebook. It's like the Stuttering John fan page, whatever. Or if they ever parents, and then this happens where parents will call me and about their kids. Just email me and I'll just call them.
That's awesome. Yeah.
Yeah. Because it's really. Listen, you could walk, and you have all your limbs, but if you're like a person who can't shut up like myself, and then you have this blockade, it really is debilitating. I mean, it lowers the self-esteem tremendously.
But when does it fire up? Is it anger? Is it anxiety? Is it?
No, when you scream, you don't usually stutter.
So, because right now you've had a couple of like things that have come out, but for the most part, if you were to go on a date tonight, would you stutter? Would you, if you're around somebody you don't know?
I think for me, first of all, the truth is there is a percentage of stutters who do get better with age.
Sure.
So that I think I have that going for me. I'm not asking celebrities about their bowel movements anymore. I don't have Fred going up every time I talk.
Yeah.
And also there's a certain amount of confidence,
sure.
And so I think it's a combination of everything. But I like I said, listen, I started on the Tonight Show a lot more than they would edit it out. Never during the announce though. And the reason why for that is announcing is like I told it's like first of all you're at a higher volume.
A little bit like singing probably.
And it's like singing. And
yeah.
And before I got hired, I had to go to the Tonight Show and record a bunch of announces they gave me to prove to them I could do it without stuttering.
Do your announcer voice.
It's a Tonight Show with Jay Leno.
That's good. So because you hadn't done a lot of that before.
No. And
so I wonder why they wanted you to do the announcement for a guy who'd never done announcing.
Well, because they
saw other things in you too.
It was first correspondent,
Yeah.
And then I went out and auditioned to be a correspondent, and they liked me as a correspondent. I said no to being a correspondent. First, after Howard wouldn't talk to me about it, and then secondly, it would not be enough money for me to go out there. So the executive producer and I were like how you just have like kismet from day one.
Yeah,
she's still my good friend. I love her. She and I just hit it off. So she wanted me on that freaking show.
Yeah.
So it was just and as did the head writer because he really liked me as well. So they just had to find a gig that would be enough money for me to come out. So,
okay,
so it wasn't like he's got the greatest voice in the world. Although I mean, if you look,
no,
if you play my announce against it's not that bad.
Yeah, it's no Don Pardo, but it's pretty good.
No, it's not Don Pardo. But who is?
Yeah.
But
is that something? Would you want to get now that you're doing your stand-up career?
My biggest kind of regret, if I could say this,
yeah,
is then when they were telling me where I was going to be on the Tonight Show. See, the initial guy who had wanted me, who saw me on I'm a Celeb, Get Me Out of Here, was a guy named Dave Berg. He was one of the segment producers. Dave Berg wanted me to be like Ed McMahon. He wanted me to be sitting on the couch, next to Jay.
By the way, is this couch as comfortable as Jay's?
Yeah, no. So he wanted me to be on the couch with Jay.
Yeah.
So that was the initial. That was hopefully the plan. But what happened was I ended up being the only place they had to put me. They had no room on stage. They put me in the audience, and I knew it. I
remember that. Yeah.
This is such because I knew it was just not going to work because then I'm a glorified heckler. Mm-hmm. And I remember once I screamed something out, and Jay's looking around like he doesn't know what hell's coming from.
Yeah.
And then Jay and Kevin was so good with Jay on the stage, so it just, I kind of became like the third wheel. Like even Jay said it on one interview, he just didn't like having to work with three people, because he was so used to just going to Kev.
Yeah.
But sadly enough, it's just timing, is that when Kevin left, Jay didn't have the same rapport with Ricky that he did with Kev.
Mm-hmm.
And if then I came, then I would have spoke up a lot more, and then I would, I think, had a more successful time at the show.
Or if you jumped into the music spot. I mean, with your background.
I wish that would have happened, because that
did that ever come up?
I had mentioned it once, I think, but it didn't come through. But that would have been ideal if I would have came after Kevin left. They would have hired me as the band leader. That would have been perfect.
Do you still play guitar,
Yeah.
sing?
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
just with buddies, or how do you?
Yeah, I mean, I do.
You have like a proper band now?
No, but I had 3 albums, and all went 10.
which is 1,500 sold.
Yeah. The only CD that skips. But no, the first one was on Atlantic. I only sold like 50,000 copies. But I actually was played on MTV, and I did well in all the Stern markets. But the problem was, who's going to play your competitor? And I didn't get. I didn't get the amount. And a lot of radio stations said, no, we can't play.
Was it radio friendly? Was it radio friendly music for the time?
Yeah. I mean, it was. I'll talk my way out of it. Was played. I had Sting in my video. I had Gene Simmons in my video.
Well, and you were saying you opened for Motley Crue, and
no, we were a good band. I mean, It wasn't like we were bad, and we got a good review from Rolling Stone.
Mm-hmm.
I framed it because nobody would believe it. But I mean,
well, and that's the thing. It went beyond the this is just one of Howard's guys doing a record for the publicity. It was beyond that. It was legit.
And not only that, I got it in 2 soundtracks. I'm in the soundtrack of Airheads, with Adam Sandler. In fact, when they're going on the way to the radio station, that's me singing in the background.
Okay, nice.
And I was on Brain Scan, which is another movie. And how
do you like those royalty checks?
They're good. I just got one today, actually.
How often?
$241. Not bad.
For which one?
I don't know. It didn't say for which one. I don't know which one it is. But, I would also write a lot of songs on The Tonight Show. So, like, when I would do a drop-in, like, if I do these bits, like, I would do bits like, would his hair look better as a beard, right? So we would have, like, so like a guy with really bad hair, and then we'd flip it around, and then it would be on as a beard.
Mm-hmm.
And it was a pretty funny, like, bit.
Yeah.
And, but like, the intro would have a title card, so I would put my own music in there.
Okay.
Because we couldn't afford to use Zeppelin.
Yeah, I was going to say, because when it comes to, I've always been fascinated by that royalties, whether it's from private parts or from music used somewhere. I mean, obviously, ASCAP, that's all tracked through that. But whenever private parts is played in Germany, I mean, you get, a couple months down the road, you get a paycheck.
Yeah, but I mean, look, I have one for one of the movies. It's sitting in my car right now. I should have brought it in for $1.28.
Which is for what?
I think that was for like Brain Scan or something.
Okay.
Or for being in Dude, Where's My Car? Because I mean, because at first, because I wasn't doing was my car, like the first ones are good, like $2,000, $3,000. But then as it goes along,
as the years go by,
gets smaller and smaller.
That's like Barbara Streisand's Spotify story, where she tweeted, she goes, "Thanks Spotify for she had like 25 million plays or something ridiculous," and she took a picture of a check for like $43.
Yeah,
I mean that shit turns out to be very minimal.
No, I know.
Yeah.
I mean. But man, it's great. Like when I was on the Tonight Show, when we were off, like when I was the announcer, so because we had all paid vacation, so I had 8 weeks paid vacation.
Mm-hmm.
When I was off, I would make more because not only was I getting paid, I was getting the residuals.
Yeah,
and they were like $500 or $600 a show.
Are there any? Do they rerun any of the Leno shows anywhere?
Not anymore.
Yeah.
I mean, but like,
now that it's out of, but I don't know if some network somewhere is playing him.
I actually saw Jay on Jimmy Fallon. Did you see him?
Mm-mm.
I thought he was great.
Yeah. Did you guys keep in touch?
Yeah, I actually called him to compliment him, and he called me back, and and we chewed the. Jay is like he is one of the nicest people, and I'm not just saying this. Not only like is he nice behind the scenes that I know somewhat about, but you guys don't, and I'm not going to say, but very extremely charitable guy.
I've heard this. Yeah.
And not only that, for the staff, he gave incredible Christmas bonuses to all of us. I'm talking thousands of dollars, and the staff was 200 people, and he paid that out of his own pocket.
That's like Oprah shit right there.
Yeah, exactly. And not only that, like I was in the hospital, I had a staph infection, and Jay would call you. I mean, just pick up the phone. He would find out from somebody, call you, hey John, how you doing? That's what I'm saying, is something all right? I'm like, yeah, I got a staph infection. John, you got to bathe every once in a while, but
I think you do a good Jay.
Yeah,
I would hope so.
Whatever. But he is really that kind of guy.
Yeah.
So I mean, if I called going to Vegas to do a show and I wanted to get on his jet to go, if I want to go to Vegas, without a problem.
Do you think he's going to just set out to pasture, or do you think he's going to?
No. He just got. You aren't doing your research. I'm very upset with you today.
What did I do? What?
No, he has his MSNBC car show now,
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah. He was just on Jimmy Fallon to promote it.
Oh, that's what he was on. Okay, so he's doing a car show.
Yeah, it's essentially his Jay's Garage is now going to be on a network.
Okay.
Which is great because Jay loves cars. He knows more about cars than anybody, I think, alive.
Yeah, and that's probably all he wants to talk about now. Does he still do his stand-up? Because he used to just pop up and do...
He does his stand-up. I mean, even when he was on The Tonight Show, he would do 150 to 200 gigs a year.
Yeah, he would just show up at, like, the Laugh Factory, right?
Well, no, he would always do the Comedy Magic, which he still does every Sunday. But he never touched a dime of his Tonight Show money. He would only live off of what he made doing stand-up. Which is a substantial amount of money.
Yeah, I was going to say.
So it's not like he was broke.
Yeah,
but he has a modest house. I mean, I've been to his house, and it's not. I mean, it's a beautiful house in Beverly Hills, but it's not like ostentatious or anything.
Sure. I'll have to check that out. That's so he left. So I guess he took like a couple years off, and now he's back doing that.
No, he never took off.
He never took. Well, when did the show end?
Yeah. He was contractually obligated to take off until September. So that's another thing. Jay fought for all of us. He said that I'm not gonna. All right, if you guys want me to leave, my contract's till September. I'll leave in February. When you want.
Yeah.
Only if you make sure that the staff is paid until September.
So that was your severance? Did you guys get a severance after that?
So that was a severance. So we got paid from February to September.
Okay.
So that's our full salary.
Yeah.
So that's the kind of guy, and that's why I hate when the whole Conan thing and all that crap happened. It really irritated me because he didn't he's a good guy. He really is.
Yeah.
I'm not, and I know it sounds like I'm just kissing ass, but I'm just stating facts.
No, and I think he has that reputation. He's got a good reputation. He doesn't have any skeletons in his closet.
Well, he doesn't shit on his wife. He doesn't do drugs. He doesn't drink.
Right.
The last one I take umbrage with, but
he's never drank.
No, he doesn't drink at all.
Yeah.
But he turned me on to the best steak in L.A., which is at Dan Tana's. It's called the Dabney Coleman.
The Dabney Coleman.
It's
okay.
better than, as far as I'm concerned, than Morton's or Ruth Chris. It's
really?
Or Mastro's. It's great.
Good to know.
Dan Tana's steak. But anyway, that's the first because I had to meet with Jay to see if he liked me, before I got hired too. So Jay and I went to see at a private screening of what was that karate movie that Quentin did, Kill Bill.
Oh, Kill Bill, yeah.
Kill Bill 2, and then we went to Dan Tana's and Jay had the steak.
Get the steak, John.
I mean, but yes, I didn't then, but I saw how much he liked it, so then I finally started ordering. It's unbelievable.
Yeah.
But and I went to his house, and oddly enough, that people don't know that Jay actually smoked a pipe. So we watching the Iron Chef, just goofing on the Iron Chef. Jay loved that show, and we watching and he's smoking a pipe. I never knew that.
I think one of the things, my dad,
not a pot pipe, of course.
Right. I was always growing up a Letterman guy. I think that I always felt like my generation, my parents' generation was more of a Leno, Carson kind of guy. My dad loved Leno,
yeah.
But I think he kind of had that old boy good old network kind of thing going on,
Yeah.
where he was straight and narrow. He wasn't, like you said, he wasn't drugging or hooking around or anything.
Well, the truth is, I'm with you. I first was a Letterman guy, but then when Letterman lost the Tonight Show to Jay, I don't know. He just seemed to get kind of bitter.
A little complacent, too. It wasn't as creative.
Yeah,
as...
it kind of turned me off, and then I started to like Jay more. Because Jay just seemed nicer, and I liked Jay with Kevin, and I liked that whole thing. And I even said that on the air, by the way, on the Stern Show, that I was more of a Jay guy.
Yeah.
And it's just weird, that...
Did Howard hate Jay as much as...
No, Jay used to call on every
Yeah, I
birthday
thought
show.
so. And he used to go on...
Yeah, Howard used to go on...
So it's just been, ever since the situation is just...
I don't know. I think they had a little falling out when Howard had the lesbians on the show. Remember that whole thing where Jay got mad and walked off the set when Howard had the lesbians on Jay's show?
No, I don't remember.
Yeah, that happened once. But
I really didn't do my homework.
Yeah, it's okay. I mean, who does anymore?
Yeah. How many more years do you think Stern's got in him?
I don't think he has that many on radio. I mean, doesn't he only do like 3 days now?
I think he does 3 days. Yeah. Do you still listen ever?
No. As soon as he went to Sirius, I said I'm not going to pay to get insulted.
Yeah.
Because I'm going to listen to myself being called an idiot all the time.
You left in was it 03 or 04?
I left in 04.
And that was like the very end of the terrestrial era, right?
Yeah, I was a year before. I think they went to, just like a year before they went to Sirius.
Okay.
And and it's so funny because everyone got like huge raises when they went to Sirius.
Yeah,
of course.
Yeah. Well, I mean, do you think everybody's doing okay over there? You think all the players?
I don't know. I talked to some of them, and I know all the camera guys. Just all the whole E crew, the Howard on Demand crew, all lost their jobs. So.
Yeah, because there's no video element to it anymore, which is too bad. I mean, that was really what brought people in, I think.
Yeah. So I mean, I don't know. I mean, it's not like I don't talk to everybody there.
Yeah.
I mean, I had dinner with Robin once, and that was very nice. I talked to her, because she had cancer, so I called her and talked to Gary, like I told you, and then I talked to a lot of the E guys, like Doug Goodstein and Scott DePace. I talked to Sal every once in a while. And
what about the Artie? Are you buddies with Artie still?
I talked to Benji. I just opened for Artie at Club Nokia.
Yeah, I was going to say, because in terms of the stand-up thing, I mean, getting into that world, you've been.
Artie is. Go ahead.
Well, I mean, you have such a great relationship with so many of those comics that came through Howard and Leno. I feel like you probably got a pretty good Rolodex of.
Yeah, no, I do. And it's but it is weird. It's because I opened for Artie, and this is like. And this just, it's the nature of the beast. But I opened for Artie at Club Nokia, and I told my friends, I said, dude, I'm gonna, there's gonna be a small percentage that's gonna boo me, and my friend said no, and I even told Artie before I went on, I go, I'm telling you, a very small percentage are gonna boo me, and he goes, why? I go, because of the Kool-Aid comment or something, or they're mad that I left, whatever. There's a certain percentage that's gonna boo me, and everyone said no. 900 people there, and now everybody put your hands together for Stuttering John. 8 people in the balcony booed the whole before I even got to the mic, and booed the whole set. And the only time they stopped booing is when they yelled, "You suck."
But, I mean, because I was wondering if there's any Baba Booies, people yelling out Baba Booies, or any old bits.
I felt bad because the other 892 people, whatever, they were all fine, and they were, and these guys ruined it. It's like, because I even said to my first, I made a joke saying, "Oh, I didn't know my family was going to be here," and then,
right,
and then I tried to reason with them and say, "Listen, there's people who paid good money. Please don't ruin it for them." And finally, I just said, "Listen, I'll tell you what, security, if you're around, bring these guys who are booing on a stage, and I'll kick their fucking asses like I did Crazy Cab." And then the whole place went crazy.
Crazy Cabby, I remember that. That was fantastic.
Yeah.
John Melendez, I think we've covered it all. The only thing we haven't covered, I guess, to really dive into your life is the divorce.
Yeah, divorce is tough. I don't recommend it to anybody. Do
you recommend marriage?
The only thing tougher than divorce is marriage. So it's and it's so funny. Like I've been watching, my kid, Poltergeist and like The Exorcist, like all these possession movies.
You scaring your kids? What the hell?
No, it's my older one, 13. 14,
she's into that.
She'd be 14, yeah, because she loves American Horror Story. And
okay.
This whole possession thing, and all I can say is that if my wife got possessed, she would have been a nicer person.
Oh God! I'm
only kidding, but I was married for 13 years, 3 great years, and
that was my question: is how many?
Like, you ever heard that movie 12 Years a Slave?
12 Years a Slave.
No, listen, I love my wife. She's a great person. We just, at some point, you just change, and things don't work out. But she's a great mom.
That's the textbook answer. Bullshit. That's the that's what everybody says. Because there's usually I feel like.
Well, no, listen, I'm not lying. I mean, I hated her the last 3 years.
Well, I was going to say, so
I couldn't
people
stand
that
her.
if you get divorced today, if someone gets divorced today, chances are the reality of that relationship was over 3 to 10 years prior.
In other words, she maintains that I neglected her in the middle of the marriage and just was always focused on my career, and I put her in the back seat, whatever. Mm-hmm. And that's true. So I take complete. I agree, because I was about trying to make money and trying to, and I really did. I didn't do the small things that you would do. I would have big parties with all the people on the shows, and instead of taking her to France.
Right.
So yeah, I did neglect her, but in the last 3 years, she was so mean to me, and it was so I couldn't stand her. So but that's but then now it's where we talk and it's fine, and we go and have holidays together and
with the kids and
with the kids, and there's no with we would visit our oldest daughter at college together, and so there's no, but so it's not like. So I'm not bullshitting. I'm just saying that there was hard times, but but now it's fine. It took me about 4 years to get over the divorce, which is I'm fine now.
Was it anger and bitterment?
First anger and bitterment, and I went out and man, did I have a lot of fun.
Yeah.
But now, I met somebody that I really like, and
eHarmony,
J-Date. No.
Tender?
No, actually, Farmers.
Farmers only?
No, actually, it's funny. She is from Tennessee. But no, I met her because I write for Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. I wrote for his roast last year.
Okay.
Like he had a roast. And this year I'm doing his karaoke event. And I'll be head writer for that as well, like I did the year before. And I met this girl. She's one of the writers also.
Okay.
Yes. And I just met with Kareem and all the writers at Funny or Die because we're going to do a bit with them.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Is she a comedian, comedy writer?
She's a comedian, but she's also, a project manager and stuff like that. But she's a beautiful girl from Tennessee, blonde, and just a great heart. So hopefully that'll work out.
Younger?
Yeah, she's 39.
I was going to say, because maybe you can go double dating with your daughter and...
Did anyone ever tell you that you look like Bill Paxton?
No.
Really?
No, I haven't gotten Bill Paxton.
Well, who have you got?
Someone said Dane...
Dane Cook?
No, not Dane. The guy from the UFC.
Yes.
Dana White.
Oh, is that his name? I thought it was the other guy.
Someone said Dana White the other day. Back when I used to have hair, someone said Kevin Costner, but that was...
I can see that. Or Garth Brooks.
Garth Brooks. Yeah, maybe.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, if you put a cowboy hat on.
Yeah, I could.
You know what I mean?
Well, the Halloween ideas for next year. This is perfect.
Yeah, I remember when I was really broke, when I was on the Stern Show, I wasn't making any money, and I owed my friend like $350. I went to a Halloween contest that the first prize was $500. I went as a penis, and I did a whole big giant paper mache penis with big vein in it, and I sprayed like shaving cream out of the top.
Oh, jeez, you went all out.
And I handed out condoms. I won the $500 prize. And I remember tying the penis to the top of my car when I'm driving to get to the train on time for Howard, and the thing flew off, and stuff. But and then some guy asked me if he could have it. I don't know what the hell he wanted it for, but the funny thing is then I'm on the Stern Show, and after Howard was Meg Ryan was not Meg Ryan, Meg Griffin was the DJ.
Melanie Griffin.
Meg Griffin was her name, but she was like a sweet, she wasn't at all crass.
Okay.
So she had heard that I won the Halloween costume contest, but didn't know what I was at, and she decided to ask me on the air, which was her mistake. Mm-hmm. So after the show, she goes, "Oh, John, I want to ask you what is on the air." She goes, "So I hear you just won a whole, a $500 Halloween costume contest. What'd you go as?" And I was, I went as a penis. And then she went, "Oh, man," and just put that in the pot. Went straight to freaking the song. It was just a perfect piece of tape that Howard used to play every now and then.
That's great. Yeah. Well, so you're dating. Congratulations on that.
I'm dating.
You're finally over the divorce. It wasn't so much getting over
but she's
wife
dating too.
Yeah, but was it getting over like just the actual relationship, or was it getting over the? Well, I lost some. She got the house.
Not anything to do with money. it was more of there was a time. At first, I didn't care. I didn't want to get back together for maybe a year or two. Then there was a time where I did want to get back together because I missed living at home and missed the the whole kind of life there and just being with her and everything. And then finally, like this past year, I think it's it's better that I'm not back together with her and we just became friends. Just our friends.
Yeah, that's great. How long have you been with this girl?
This girl. Just dating for about 3 months.
Is she a Cala Blacklist girl?
No.
So she's out here?
She's in Long Beach.
That's like a long-distance relationship.
You guys, I used to date a girl in Jersey when I lived at my mom's house in Massapequa. A girl who worked in Channel 9 show. I used to drive to her place almost every night, 45 minutes an hour.
No! In L.A., if you live in Culver City and you meet someone in Santa Monica, you might as well meet somebody in New Jersey.
Well, that's how they are out here. But this is L.A. But what's so funny? Once I met a girl on spring break. This girl, Nicole, she lived in she lived in Detroit. I didn't have sex with her when we were in spring break.
Uh-huh.
I drove.
Such a gentleman.
I drove after the Channel 9 show from Jersey, and we met in Ohio at a hotel.
Jesus.
I drove like freaking. The guys will do anything for pussy.
Oh well, and now it's got with the web. I don't know, Tinder, all the different apps. I mean, it's dating has gotten so much easier.
It has. I'm on Match.com too. Yeah.
Are you?
Oh yeah. I do some stand up about that. It's.
You were or you are?
I am. I canceled. I'm done in December.
Oh, sure. You got to let your subscription run out.
I'm not exclusive. I like this girl a lot.
Oh, okay.
But, we haven't become official exclusivity boyfriend and girlfriend.
So she might be out dating other guys too.
I hope not.
Well, there you go. That goes both ways, doesn't it?
I haven't dated anybody either since I met her, but I'm just saying.
Have you had that conversation?
I haven't had sex in like 3 or 4 months, dude.
With other than this girl?
I haven't had sex with this girl.
Oh, you haven't had sex with this girl?
No, she's from Tennessee. She's very old school, old fashioned. It's not going to go like that.
She's also 39 years old.
She's only had like 4 guys ever.
Oh, so she says.
And she was married, and her husband died.
When's your next stand-up gig? When can we see you?
On a lighter note, from cancer to stand-up.
Yeah.
The next one, you know what? I don't know. I usually go up at John Lovett's Club or the Ha Ha or like the Comedy Store around here. I don't have a gig booked yet, but hopefully soon I'll be in Jersey, and soon I'll be in Philly, and soon I'll be in Arizona. We're working on it now. And
ideally, would you want to do like a proper, maybe like HBO special? Do you want to get to that?
I'd like
How many minutes do you have now?
About 50 minutes. But the
50?
Yeah.
Okay.
But I can stretch. I can probably go an hour. But the thing is that I also have a reality show that ICM is repping about me on the road, and there's quite a number of production companies that are interested. In fact, I might have a meeting today to close the deal, and then hopefully you'll see this ugly freaking face on TV again. So
that's awesome.
So I'm working on that, and I'm also working on an animated series called The Fat Fox. It's a bunch of foxes who are New York. It's a mob family who are foxes, and they, so it's like based on The Sopranos, but it's animated like The Simpsons kind of, and it's an irreverent animated thing that I'm working on.
Talking foxes.
It's called The Fat Fox.
That's great.
Yeah, but that's it right now, and I'm also I'm working on a book, so we hope to do that soon.
What's that? Is that memoir type book?
It's going to be a lot of funny stories from my childhood, from the Stern Show, from the Tonight Show, and all the people that I pissed off that I finally got to meet on the Tonight Show, and how that went.
Oh yeah, I saw you say on Facebook. You said you.
I stopped smoking January 5th.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Cold turkey?
Yeah, I didn't start till I was like doing stand up with Artie and those guys when I was 35, and Artie and Nick DePaul would all be smoking, and then.
How is Artie still walking the earth? I mean, that guy.
I don't know, because when I saw him, he hasn't lost any weight.
God bless him. And, I mean, he must have the genes of.
And dude, he's in a lot of. He's well, you know what happened to him, right?
Which thing?
The whole tweeting like the racist.
Oh yeah, the
stuff.
racist thing for that I am up to speed on. What exactly did he tweet? Because it was
something about the girl. Like he wishes that he was like. I don't
You're
know
paraphrasing.
Exactly. I'm paraphrasing, so I don't know exactly.
Yeah.
So but I'm guessing it was something where he wanted the African American ESPN host or whatever to be like his sex partner, like as a slave, and he was Thomas Jefferson. And,
oh Jesus!
And then she escaped. I don't know, something along that lines. But I know that he got banned from ESPN and Comedy Central, but on the bright side, he just got picked up as a correspondent for Fox News.
Yeah. That's good.
I said that joke, like...
That was on Twitter.
That was on
you tweeted
Facebook
that.
and Twitter. And some people think it's funny, but then again, people are so divided in this country.
Oh, it's
God
crazy.
forbid you make us a joke about Fox News and they get angry.
What do you think of, well, let's get into that real quick about the censorship angle, because I don't know if you know the Opie and Anthony show.
Yeah, I heard, and I like those guys. And,
Anthony tweeted something about a woman, an African-American black woman in Times Square that was upset, that taking a picture, and Sirius just completely banished him.
It's just it's sad we've gotten so politically correct in this. I mean, it's gotten a little too much. I think.
Especially when you're looking at somebody. If you're a politician, if you're a teacher, if your craft, if your life, if that's off color for who you are, then absolutely it's eyebrow raising. But if you're a comedian, if you're on a shock jock type show and you say something like that, come on, man, you gotta recognize where these people come from.
Well, that's the thing. I mean, look, do you think Howard would be allowed to do the stuff he did?
God, no.
20 years ago. I mean, it's gotten just
It's neutered, is what it is.
Yeah, I mean, Artie's a comedian. Comedians are going to cross the line sometimes. I mean, Gilbert Gottfried lost his whole gig for Affleck, and it's just like, what was his thing? It was a Chinese thing he did or something.
I think it was it was a terrorist type thing.
And,
I don't know.
I do stuff on stage that if I would tweet it, I guess people would, like I'd be in trouble. I mean, because you're playful, and like. It's just when you see it written down, if Artie would have said it as a joke on stage, probably nobody would give a crap about it. But it's like even like with Michael
Kramer
Richards, right?
Yeah.
So he goes on. It's just
that racist rant that he did.
Yeah, but our age now, people have all their phones. Like if he would have done that, and you just heard about it, it wouldn't have. I don't think it wouldn't have mattered as much. But because you saw it.
Yeah,
then that's it.
But here's what I don't get is that it's not like Artie or Michael Richards or any of these people that are getting in trouble for this are walking into classrooms, are walking into places of business and announces. People are subscribing to their Twitter feeds. They're paying to see their shows. It's not like this is just somebody out of the blue. It's like what you're getting with these guys. Why is it a shock? Why do we have to punish people for speaking however they want to speak?
I know.
And if you're that fucking sensitive, then I'm sorry.
But I will tell you this, and I know this, but maybe I shouldn't be saying this. Since this thing, like Artie, I mean, he was... I think
and it's only been a few days.
All right, so he had 1,000 seats sold over at the Keswick Theater in Philly, something like that. Since this thing, he sold out.
Oh, of course, of course.
So he might be a freaking genius for all you know. I mean, because people love controversy. I mean, look, it's almost taking the now. I don't want to know. It's like when Artie went on that Joe Buck show, and I don't know if you saw that, but
Joe Buck, the sports announcer.
Yeah, and he terrorized Joe Buck.
Yeah, Joe Buck's very terrorizable.
But look how great that went for Artie.
Yeah.
I mean,
was he on ESPN? I didn't know what Artie was.
I think he was waiting to
correspondent
go on, waiting to go on Comedy Central. I don't know. He was waiting. I don't know. I mean, I read the tweets. Artie's a lovable guy. He's a good guy. But again, I think when you see it written down, it's not like him making a joke to you going, like just kidding around.
Yeah.
Like you see it written down and then boom, it's like you're stuck with that written down.
For sure.
You know what I mean? It's not like me, like if I'm on stage and like you say a joke, it's a joke, and if someone gets upset, like you can immediately say, I'm sorry, dude, I'm only kidding around, or, but here you're like kind of like people take that tweet, they post it everywhere, and then people are going to see it, and then you're done.
But it's jokes, it's entertainment. It's amazing how much we're offended by that, but not Kardashian's oiled ass all over everywhere. It's like,
well, I could go the other way. I don't think that nudity should be offensive to anybody anyway.
I don't think any of it should be offensive to anybody.
Although I do find their ass offensive. I mean, I'm putting up by Kanye West.
Would you ever do? The other thing.
Just went right over.
I heard you, Kanye.
He's like the Harry Shearer guy in freaking Wayne's World. Douchebag says what?
Yeah.
Okay, let me tell you.
But I mean, you look at like Anthony, who he's now doing online stuff. So many guys have come online because you can say whatever you want.
Yeah.
Would you ever do something Would you ever get back into radio or a talk format like this?
I want to get back into radio, but
something like a podcast type deal.
I was doing a vodcast on the John Lovitz thing.
A vodcast or a pod?
A vodcast, so it was on video.
Okay.
And again, I'm glad you did your research. But I was doing that for a long time. I loved doing it, but there was no money. There was just no up, and it was like a lot of prep for a very little upside. Even though I love the John Lovitz Club, it's not just that they weren't generating any income yet.
Yeah, it's becoming more and more monetizable than it was. It's changed all the time.
I would love to be on a radio show.
Like Mark Maron does well. I mean, there's a percentage of them that make a great career out of it.
Yeah, and I would love to. Adam Carolla obviously did, and it does. I'd love to do. I would love to do terrestrial radio. That's what I would like to do.
You'd like to go back and do that, yeah.
Yeah, and if not, then Sirius or something like that.
Play the same 20 songs over and over.
I don't want to ever do music.
All right, coming up next, we got Good Body every afternoon.
I've done that. I've hated that. I don't want to play songs. I just want to have guests on, interview them, and
shoot
talk.
the shit.
Yeah. Just like we just did.
Well, and that's the thing is that my final days in radio was you got to talk 30 seconds or less. You got to talk for 15 seconds. That's
how it was when I was a DJ.
Exactly.
And it drove me crazy.
And there's no more conversation anymore. There's no more.
And even when I hear DJs now, and no offense, I know they have to do this, but it's like they have to be little quick, witty things. That, and
it's set them up, knock them down, hacky stuff.
It just sounds stupid.
Well, and a lot of what it is, too, and you would probably be frustrated getting back into the game because you can't do a lot, obviously a lot of the team show stuff that happens on radio now is based in what you guys were doing, 80s, 90s on Stern. And a lot of that stuff is so hack now because it has to be watered down. You can't do the nobody's going to do anything on radio ever again that's going to make their mouths drop.
Probably not. Well, just for the reasons that that we just said, everyone's too freaking afraid to do anything now.
Yeah, they're going to get without losing their jobs.
Although Comedy Central. Come to think of it, wasn't South Park on Comedy Central? Or,
yeah.
Wasn't that pretty racially sensitive? No.
Yeah, but they make news every time they do it. But Family Guy gets heat every once in a while.
Yeah.
That's why you can with your Fox show, your Fat Fox, you can say whatever you want.
Yeah, well, that's going to be that's not going to be politically correct.
That's the gig. Yeah.
No. You can go see it actually on the Stuttering John YouTube channel.
You're going to be up against Mike Tyson, who's got an animation out.
Yeah,
now.
How is that?
I don't know. I don't know.
Yeah, I know. Somebody said it's pretty funny though.
Right, John Melendez. Stuttering John.
Much,
this was fantastic.
Anytime you want. I'd love to be on. It was a great time.
Thanks, man.